But either way, Chris Rock seems to be okay. I hear he's supposed to get some type of Netflix special. I would bring all that up for you, but since this is our very first live stream and I'm new to this, be sure that I'll get better with time. Just very new to this, but thank you for joining me. For those, I see a couple of people over in the chat. Hey, Mar. Hey, Jim Beast or JM Beast, number 8. How you guys doing this evening? Anyhow, moving on our list. Number 9 that made the list was the James Corden thing where he was banned from, was a Balthazar restaurant. I believe that the ban that I believe they took it back, but they really shouldn't have. If you think about it, when people are in the hospitality industry and the service industry, they're working a job. They're doing a job and they don't need to be harassed by anyone. Even if your meal was wrong, simply send it back and go somewhere else to eat. That's my advice. That's my opinion. There's no way I would cuss everyone out, send the food back, and then continue to eat what they brought out, and you don't know what they could have done to the food. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Mr. Cordone, the next time you get, service that is not up to your liking or up to par, remove yourself from the situation. Don't make everyone feel bad. We know that these businesses are short-staffed. We know that these businesses have had a rough 2 years and some are still wet behind the ears if they're just opening. In this case, this place may have been around for some time, but people aren't rewarding people for bad behavior anymore. You need to stop. I mean, you have fans and followers that are looking up to you, and when they see you doing bad or acting a fool, then they tend to follow suit. So we're going to need you for 2023 to act a little better. Stop misbehaving, because we're not going to continue to reward people that do bad things. Just a little rule of thumb for you. Number 8. We've been dealing with cheating scandals from Tia Mowry to Giselle and Tom. You can look back at some of the previous videos on that, from Nia Long and her basketball coach. Up until recently, I even heard that Nia Long was upset that the Celtics didn't reach out. Was it the Celtics? Someone in the chat, let me know. Hey, XQAZEX, what's up? Someone in the chat, let me know. Was it the Celtics that Nia Long's ex, Ume, whoever, was he playing for the Celtics? Anyhow, while someone's getting that information, bottom line is she's waiting for an apology that's never gonna come. First of all, no one owes her an explanation. Sometimes people don't want to be involved with other people's stuff or entanglements, as Jada would say. No one wants to be involved. There's so many other things going on in the world. No one has time to be involved in your stuff when they got their own crap in the backyard. 2023 brings promise. It brings hope. You have to look for it, or you have to sit back and possibly wait for it to come to you. If someone's cheating on you, get rid of them. I don't care how much money they're making. Sometimes it's not worth the headache. And then on the other hand, when you listen to some of the oldies but goodies, then they say it's cheaper to keep them. So you have to do what's right for you, but don't reflect that on everyone else saying, well, you should have let me know. You have a woman's intuition. You should have knew what was going on. And I haven't heard too much about Tia and Corey Hardricks, and don't really care to. Moving right along, number 7 is Wendy Williams versus Every Dang On Body. Now, someone really has to explain to me why everyone's so upset with Wendy. or so upset with Kevin, the ex-husband, who seems to be the one who kept her in line for all this time. She wasn't drinking as much that anyone may have saw. I wasn't looking for any signs, to be honest. I haven't watched Wendy's show in a long time, but she's sick now. She's dealing with her own issues in a way that only she knows how. Everyone was up in arms that her son lost his apartment or condo or whatever it was. He is grown as all get out, and mommy shouldn't have to be paying his bills anymore. I mean, I have grown folks. They were my babies at one time, but they're grown now. You have to let them go. You can advise them on what to do or just give advice, but don't do it for them because it will make them weak. And as far as I'm concerned, little Kevin Jr., he'll get out there and get a job like everyone else going to college and not depend on mommy to be there for him. And Kevin Sr., he should go get a job too, as far as I'm concerned. He's all upset, suing Wendy, talking about he's about to go into foreclosure. It really isn't her problem. You left her for someone else, and go get a job too. Sheesh. Teach your child how to work. It's sickening. We're going to move right along because I can't. Oh, number 6 was Taylor Swift, the Swifties versus Ticketmaster. What do you guys think about that? Do you think Ticketmaster is liable for not being able to complete the transactions for all the tickets that they could not sell for Taylor's fans? I believe they're totally liable. I believe that this is going to be the next big trial next to Meg and Tory about getting people money back, or providing them with an event that she may not even be able to showcase because they screwed that all up. So I'm curious to see what happens with that. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. You probably picked up on that by now, but we're going to move right along into number 5. Nick Sprigsy Cannon. Okay, I am so done with him. You know, he wants to leave this legacy. I get it. I do get it. However, Jay Slim, I'll get to the juice on Tory Lanez in a sec. Couple more things to discuss here before we get to that, because that's kind of long. Not too long that it'll bore you, but I'm getting there. So Nick comes out recently and states that he doesn't have enough time for all his children. No stuff. No stuff. Money can't buy everything. Your children need your time. You should know that already. And then you're sick. You keep saying you're sick, but did you realize that you pass on your genetics to every single child that you have? That's something to think about. I'm over him too for the new year. Everyone on this list probably won't be spoken about ever again because there's nothing to say. Number 4 is Kim and Kanye. They've been talking about that divorce. Nobody cares. She knew what she was getting prior to her running around and picking him up. Okay? And everyone keeps saying, well, Kanye's sick, Kanye's sick. I like Kanye. I don't care how sick he is, because from with my experience, and I work in the medical field and I have tons of experience with people that are crazy, actually know who to get crazy with. And the fact that he's doing all these things and everyone's using his mental health as a reason of why he's doing this, I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. Anyhow, we'll move on to number 3 because I know a couple people want to get to Tory Lanez and Meg. Number 3 is the Royals versus Harry and Meghan. I watched one episode of the documentary and I turned it off. I was kind of upset, and a lot of people probably won't understand this, but I like the fact that Harry is very attentive to Meghan as a husband, which a husband should be. But on the other hand, with Meghan, that I don't like is she wants all this sympathy from everyone in the Black community when she didn't even realize she was Black in the first place. I can't. I won't. I mean, and then the royals for years, centuries, decades, they've had this, let's see the word I'm looking for. Anyway, they had this reputation of, not liking people of color and doing things to people of color. And if she realized it before, I don't know how she thought that centuries of what may have been biased or unbiased, I don't know how she thought that wasn't going to affect her. I mean, it's great that they fell in love, but if these group of individuals were a certain way prior, they're going to stay that way. I've often found that when something's a challenge to a person, they often either change it or they don't change it. Some people give up, but they don't want to put in the hard work. So anyhow, moving right along. Number 2, Johnny Depp versus Amber Heard. I heard bits and pieces, didn't really care. I know it had something to do with domestic violence and everyone was so invested in it. If you are a victim of domestic violence, you should reach out for help. I heard something about Johnny losing a fingertip. I had no idea that things were that bad over there. People say that, when you have money, money can't buy you everything. There's some people at the bottom that would like that money. If you can't handle it, send it to us and my followers over here in the chat. We can use it for something. There's a song out by a local rapper. He states, it's lonely at the top, but it's crowded at the bottom. Spread the wealth. You got enough, spread it out. All right, so number 1, we're here to, or is what most people probably are here for, is the Tory Lanez and Meg thing. Okay, so this is not really any tea, not to me anyhow, but people don't realize that we're all just looking for the truth. We don't know who's really telling the truth, but we do have one actual fact that's come out of this whole thing. One actual fact is that we know that Megan got shot. We don't know who did it. And what was so ironic to me is I seen something on TMZ today, but it was after I discovered it on my own, that I was setting up a petition for something that I believe in over on change.org. And I saw this huge petition written up in defense of Tory Lanez. And I'm reading it, and there were a lot of things that made me speculate, well, maybe he didn't do it. I don't know. But I can tell you that every second that I was on that page, there was a person signing that petition. They needed 50,000 signatures, and when I looked at it, it was at 41,833. What Jay Slime? What's going on? Megan Thee Stallion got out of what? Let me know. I'm not going to type back. I'm just going to call you out. I can't do both, not yet. So let me know what's going on. I don't know. She got out of what? I think, you think she got out on the jury? There's always, I always agree with that. There are 3 sides to the story. There's Meg's side, there's Tory's side, and, there's somewhere in the middle, there's the truth. And that's what everyone's looking for. I sell buckets said Meg's not right. She ain't right. Mar said there's 4 sides to the story. Well, what's the 4th side, Mar? Because I don't know that saying. I have no idea. All I was going to say is that I was going to read some of this petition to some of the people that haven't read it. If you haven't read it, go to change.org and type in appeal decision for Tory Lanez or something like that. Let me see if I can pull it up on my phone here. TMZ posted the article on December 26th at 9:47 that said Tory Lanez family and friends are banding together to help him avoid prison time. If you've ever had anyone, family, friend, or indifferent in the system, you may know firsthand that that's not a place for a dog. Okay? With that being said, I don't wish that on my enemies for anyone to be in prison. But on the other hand, I feel as if you do something wrong, you should be punished. But I don't know that it should be punishment for 22 years for something that they say you didn't do. And that he stated over and over that he did not do. Now, I do like Megan. But I just don't know. I'm conflicted with this story, as probably millions of Americans are. But I'm not a fan enough to be invested on picking a side. Put it that way. I'm not taking sides. But back to this TMZ article. What Jay-Z had to do with this, I was so confused. Everybody's like, Rock Nation, Rock Nation. First of all, I didn't know who the heck Rock Nation was. Don't tell nobody. But they're talking about Jay-Z. I'm like, I didn't even think Jay-Z was like in the game as much anymore. I thought, since he's on billionaire status, that he would be in chill mode. But I spoke with someone a lot older and wiser than me, and he said that Jay-Z is considered the godfather of hip hop. Someone let me know if that's true. I don't know if that's true or not. He's the godfather of hip hop, and if you have a problem, you would go speak with your godfather. Almost like how Ron Isley used to be back in the day. I don't know. I don't know about that. Rhea, what's going on here? 4 sides question, definitely none. Is that WID or WLD? I can't see. You see, I got my spectacles on today. So anyhow, TMZ keeps going and they get to the part about the petition. And the petition claims that Tory's trial was a circus of speculation, insufficient evidence, inconsistencies, and drunken memories. And I agreed with that. Like, have you ever had a hangover or something like that? You can't remember most of the time what happened the day before. So I agree. Anyway, they said drunken memories that left us without much moral certainty of any truth. Who agrees with that in the chat? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with how this petition starting off, stating that Tory's trial was a circus of speculation, insufficient evidence, inconsistencies, and drunken memories. You guys are slowing up in the chat. We were getting some good clicks there, and now nobody could put a 1 in the chat if you agree with that. How about this? Put a 1 in the chat. Okay, there's 1. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with Tory. How about that? And Shatera, I'll take you out of it because you put 1 for my first question. Put a 1 in the chat if you're Team Tory, and put a 2 in the chat if you're Team Meg, and put a 3 in the chat if you're on T side, and we just don't really care. We just want to know the truth for the sake of accurate reporting. Okay. All right, we got a Team Tory in the house. Yeah, I'm still number 3. I don't know. I feel bad for his son though. I really do feel bad for his son, because his son, what was he, about maybe 4 or 5, and he appeared very young, and that would be a long time to be away from your child. So That's maybe whose side I'm on, the baby side. Not literally the baby, but Tory's son's side. Uh, I might have to choose his side out of this. Anyhow, then their TMZ is also reporting that what's more is Tory fans are attacking the jury. They're calling them irresponsible, claiming they rushed to their decision and unjustly found Tory guilty on all 3 firearm counts. And that may be true. I wasn't there, but I do know that there were a couple other bloggers that have been on YouTube that actually were there during the trial and following things and reporting. And the way I even found out that Tory Lanez was guilty is by watching Sherelle's World. You may want to check her out. She's really good. And I am in love with her husband because he reminds me of my husband, very opinionated, and they never see eye to eye. And neither do I have time. But, when you've been married a long time, you can do that, I guess. Anyhow, the petition then lasers in on some wild claims. This case is also about branding, marketing, label hits, and a music industry that pushes narratives based on who they are, based on who they have personally invested millions into. So I think that's where Jay-Z comes into it, or what the accusation is. They're saying that he's invested millions into Meg. I couldn't even tell you what the marketing employee is on that one. And then they say, could Jay-Z or Roc Nation be involved? What do you think? Do you think Roc Nation was involved with the verdict? I don't see why they would want to be involved. That looks bad on the business as a whole, not just for one individual. I'm just curious to see what anyone thinks in the chat about that. But then the petition took a big turn, and then it became racial. So they said, was this case taken because of political pressure to fake or protect Black women? African Americans went along with hashtags that didn't protect anyone and instead caused division between Black women and Black men. That was a powerful statement. Whoever wrote the petition was genius to me, because every word was based on facts. There was no gray area in between. It was just things that were observed during the trial, and I really was interested into that. So I was really interested in the whole petition. I read the whole thing. I was going to read it on here tonight, but I really don't have time for that. If you want me to, if anybody in the chat's interested in me reading the whole petition to them, in case someone doesn't know different language, I'd be happy to. So at the end of this TMZ article, it says that it will be an uphill climb to win an appeal. Appeals courts generally don't throw out guilty verdicts because they may interpret the facts differently than the jury. So that was interesting. And for those who do not understand what that means that even if he wins an appeal, the decision may remain the same, which means he'll still do that time, which is very sad to me. Very, very sad, especially if he didn't do it. And I'm curious to know if Megan and Kelsey are still friends, or if they've been separated this whole time. Because with women, a lot of you guys may know or not know that with women, we could get into fights with our BFFs and we could not talk to them for a month or so. But one thing's for sure, and two things are for certain: when we get back together, it's almost like nothing ever happened. I've had the same friend for almost 30 years. I don't talk to her as much as I used to, but we have the most love for each other, and no one would be ever getting in the way with that. Did Tory have witnesses, Bria? I'm not sure who his witnesses were. I know his father is mad as all get up and get out. Mr. Mouse, thank you. I know his father's very upset, and his stepmother. And they've been on every blog that I've seen going after Jay-Z and going after Megan. I, again, am not taking sides. I'm a neutral party. I just thought it would be interesting for us to discuss some of the issues that are happening at the end of 2022 here, especially the fact that we've lost so many different entertainers and celebrities. And also we have, might have been grieving from families or friends being lost this year. And what really gets me is that why all these things matter, because they really don't. We are in a battle right now, for those who aren't aware. We are in a battle. We are dealing with the highest gas prices we've ever seen, okay? We have food in the grocery stores that are inflated 30, 40%. There's people not eating. I'm guaranteed if you took the time to know one of your neighbors, they're not even eating right now. And you're always going to hear me say the same message over and over again, because I'm hoping that it will resonate with someone out there. We were taught all these things, and this is going to be our next live. We were taught to tell the truth, but we still have people out there preaching to their kids that there's a Santa Claus, okay? We were taught, not to lie. We were taught, to be in a house when the street lights came on. There are so many things that we were taught growing up that everyone seems to have thrown out the window. And then they're wondering why the gun violence in the whole United States is up all over the place. We have so much work to be done that is not even funny. There is so much work that needs to be done. And I'm going to count on all 7 people that are in this lab right now to get it done. No matter how hard it is, no matter how much of a challenge it is, I bet you somewhere along the end, it may equal a change. I try to change myself every day. Good, bad, or indifferent. Sometimes you just need that. And this right here is a change for me. Being on a live stream, who would have thought at my age I'd be on a live stream talking to you great people out there in the YouTube streets? Anyhow, back to Tory and Meg. We don't know what the truth is, but I guarantee you one thing out of all of this. We have one fact in the beginning. We all know that Meg really got shot. And number 2 is going to be, we will never know the truth. I don't think we'll ever know the truth. With that being said, some exciting news. We are going to have a giveaway. I am going to make 5 t-shirts, and keyword, I am going to make, okay? Keywords there. A nice t-shirt. I don't know if you can see this, and I will stand up here. Hold on. Old lady here. Can you see that? It's a WhoseTeaTV t-shirt. So I'm going to make 5 of those t-shirts, and I'm going to try to have my production team put my email in the chat there for you. Somebody from my production team, can you put an email in the chat where they could email WhoseTeaTV? If you email me your address, if you're the winner, since we don't have that many people here, I might just give all of you one. I'll make all of you your own t-shirt. It won't be green. I think I have white, black, and blue you can specify your color, and I will send you a free t-shirt for being my very loyal subscribers here. Okay. Anyhow, is there anything that anyone wants to discuss in the chat? Maybe next time I'll figure out how to drop a link so that some of you can get up here and tell me your thoughts and your opinions on what's going on with Tory and Meg, because I'm interested to hear what everyone has to say. All right, I will end this here. It was nice seeing you guys. I know it's been a while. I have an explanation for why I haven't been here, but I'll save that for another time. Until next time, we'll find out whose tea it really is. Yours, mine's, theirs, or ours as a collective. Take care.